Hi there, friends. I'm meteorologist Robert Spetta. Plenty to talk about out here today. From our tropical depression likely to become a tropical storm named Kiko moving into southwestern Japan. We have several areas of low pressure west and east of the Philippines continuing to try to develop up here. And that also is still bringing that heavy rainfall we've been seeing across Manila and off here towards central and northern areas of Luzon. In fact, just a quick shout out to one of our sponsors. You don't have to, I'm sure most of you have already heard about Ground News. Link is down below if you want a discount and you do want to sign up for it, but I do use this website a lot to try to get specific information, especially as far as impacts and flooding and stuff like that. Yeah, check it out. There's actually a free version of it, but if you do want to sign up for the paid version, I do have that link down below. Anyways, yeah, let's talk about this, and let's talk about the flooding that we have been seeing and what we could continue to see as we go ahead over the next few days. And first off, we have our tropical depression out here towards the north. Of course, this new area of low pressure just towards the west of Luzon, and all the while, all these have been just kind of a continuing, not quite the southwest monsoon or the Baga. I would say it's more of this trough enhanced by these low pressure areas, and you can see that here in the broader picture. There goes our first storm moving off here towards the north. You have this low here, that low there, trying to develop up, and it really just enhances that flow, especially for northwestern areas of Luzon as we go ahead through the rest of the week. Into the weekend, things do start to taper off. Plus, by the way, got another area of low pressure trying to develop out there towards Mindanao. We'll get to that in just a second. Meanwhile, though, let's take a closer look at this area right over Luzon. And yeah, you can see kind of the broad circulation right in there. I mean, dare say this is already a low pressure area, but the key thing is just the instability. And then you get to that peak of daytime heating, really flares up the showers and thunderstorms. And it's been coming heavy at times out there. So definitely still a flood threat here on our Thursday over towards Friday. That low does start to try to pull away towards the north, and that is going to gradually make things relatively better for central and northern Luzon, but not drastically. Meanwhile, though, look at that. This area probably going to become our next tropical depression or tropical storm moving on shore into Hainan. Hainan in the Guangdong province really just been getting better recently, and they're preparing for yet another storm. By the way, if you're curious why I don't really linger on Hainan or southwest China, is because, or southeast China, I should say, not a lot of people watch these updates from there. It's not a lack of not caring about it, it's just they're behind the Great Firewall, so they're not watching videos on YouTube and Facebook. There's a few people, specifically our friends in Hong Kong, but yeah, just FYI, if you're ever curious. Here's a look at the rainfall accumulation outlook here, and yeah, look at that. Along the west coast, still an additional 100 to maybe even 200 millimeters of precip due to that inflow kicking around there. So for our Friday, Visayas and Mindanao, you are looking at some rainfall, but not nearly as much as we're seeing out here. Yeah, into Palawan, but further towards the north across the NCR, and especially in the northwestern Luzon. Yeah, you can see the difference in our particles, our raindrops here just coming down. And that's where you're going to see some of the heaviest of that precipitation across the west coast of the Cordillera Mountains. They're the western slopes. And that does also include, for our friends in the Baguio, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, scattered showers, temperatures relatively lower into the lower 20s. All right, let's look at the bigger picture here, because I did mention, we have our tropical depression, likely make a tropical storm, moving off here towards the north, and that's going to make for some big waves across Japan, but also, due to this flow down towards the south, the West Philippine Seas, looking at some increasing wave heights, about 1 to 2 meters, and then we could be looking at this area towards the east of Mindanao. I will come back to that, I promise. All right, so first off, how about our tropical depression? It's probably going to be a tropical storm in the near future. Going to bring increased rainfall across Shikoku, the Kii Peninsula, and yes, over towards Tokyo as well, especially here on Friday. Friday is not going to be pleasant. The good news is by the weekend, it does drastically improve as a front comes through and kind of kicks this system off towards the east. Not looking at typhoon-type conditions unless you are traveling maybe out to the Izu Islands this weekend, which I know people are still going out there for kind of late summer, early fall vacations. It's probably not going to be great heading out onto the ferry. But for Friday, definitely showers into the Tokyo area before things do clear out and warm back up by Sunday over towards Monday. Hey, by the way, big shout out to our Patreon members too. I just want to say David Oakes just signed up here a couple days ago, and big thank you very much, David. for signing up to that super typhoon level. I can't stress enough that y'all are fantastic people for helping to continue to support this channel. I probably would have stopped this a long time ago if it wasn't for your continued support, to be quite frank and honest with you. So just saying, thank you very much for continuing to support here. All right, let's bounce back over to here, and let's slow it down a little bit. Let's talk about that long-range guidance. I did mention it a few times. You know, we're talking about our storm out here moving into southwestern Japan. We're talking about the rainfall that's going to continue across central and northern Luzon. But also, I've been hinting at it. See the ECMWF here on Sunday over towards Monday, picking up, oops, wrong way. Picking up on a broad low, kind of nearing landfall into eastern areas of the Philippines. And then we go over to Monday into Tuesday. GFS doesn't really have much. So, you know, if we look at the ensemble, my ensemble's not loaded up there. If we looked at the ensembles, there really isn't strong hinting at something right in there, but it definitely is worth watching. You can kind of see here with the GFS picking up on an increase in rainfall accumulation south of Palau. Then you see the ECMWF kind of very similar, but nothing screams full-on super let's go typhoon at this time. But we are getting to that time of year where we are going to have to watch more of these east runners or west runners. I think they're what they're called, the straight runners. I'll get the term down, out here into the Philippine Sea. But for the time being, it really is still all about these storms. So let's go back to our current, this just flow that we're continuing to see, and that southwesterly flow out here across the northwest coast of Luzon. So yeah, I will continue to keep you all posted about this, about our tropical system, and everything else going on in the Western Pacific today. So I hope that if you have any questions or anything like that, if you want more information, please just give me a shout in the comment section down below. As always, I hope you do stay safe out there, and thanks for watching, friends. All right.